Amanda, welcome to my channel. So this was a requested video, so I decided to go ahead and ask my friend Jessica if she wanted to go ahead and do this video with me. And this is ways that we multitask our products to basically have a successful project plan and to not waste items and to have fun and to just be creative and to just finish things off. These are ways that I have used. I did not go ahead and include anything that I have used, even if it's just once. And there are even ways that I have put on my face today. And these are just fun ways that is not considered waste, at least not to me anyway. So I have this long list. I actually had to make a long list of this because I would never be able to just think of them all at the top of my head. So if I'm missing some, then, you know, it is what it is, but I did my best. So the first one is using eyeshadow to set your concealer. And this is something that I've done for quite a while. It definitely helps to go ahead and use that. And sometimes it works out. Actually, most of the time it works out. Sometimes it doesn't. It's just you have to find the right shade that you like for underneath your eyes. And I always tend to go for like a matte shade. Sometimes like a satin shade will work. It just kind of depends on what you like. Using eyeshadows to make a translucent powder to have more pigment. I am not a huge fan of translucent powder, so I have taken eyeshadows out of palettes and just turn them into a powder and just put them in my translucent powder, and it helped the powder. It helped me go through some eyeshadows, and it all kind of just, it worked out. I don't tend to put more than one. I tend to put one and then test it out. If I could go ahead and put in another one, I will. But that will help you guys go through your translucent powder if you're looking for just a little bit more coverage. I've also used eyeshadows to franken blushes. This is something that I've done for a while, and it helps you, especially if there's no pigment in the blushes. I'm doing that with a blush that I'm wearing today because, you know, it's a way to get through it because the shade just wasn't working for me, and I'm not somebody that likes to declutter, so I just simply went ahead and just made it work for me. And whenever I'm done with this blush, I'll be done with an eyeshadow. Using eyeshadow as a blush is another thing that I have done. Sometimes the shades can be quite deceiving though. They'll be a whole lot darker than you think, but some of them works out beautifully. Now, granted, I do find that if you go ahead and you use a blush, it blends better. But eyeshadow does work as long as you go ahead and you blend it out and you spend some time on it. It's definitely not necessary to have blush, I don't think, but if I ever get to the point where I don't have any blushes, I'm probably still going to have at least one in my collection just because it does take a while to blend out. But, you know, maybe that's just because of some of the shades that I've used. Another one is using eyeshadow as a highlighter. Again, the highlighter that I've been wearing all year is actually all eyeshadow. I frankened a whole bunch of eyeshadows together to make a beautiful highlighter. It was sort of like a challenge because I had one shade left in the MAC Burgundy x9 palette, and I was so tired of that one. And Jessica actually said that I should franken it. I told her that I bet I could turn it into a highlighter, and she kind of challenged me to do that, and I did. Took a lot of eyeshadow though, but by the time that one's done, I think I'll be done with like 12 or 13 eyeshadows. So I tend to like it. I'm really kind of surprised at how much I like the highlighter. So definitely experiment with that. I also used eyeshadow to change the color of a nail polish. I've had some shades that I just simply didn't like. They were way too light. They were either really, really light pink or light green, practically white. And I went ahead and I put some eyeshadows in it. One, I put 2 eyeshadows in it, and another I put 2 eyeshadows and a glitter in it. And even on a top coat, on a clear top coat, I took the Born Pretty glitters that are just messy to use, and I put them in for a top coat. And that's kind of what I have on my nails today, is a nail polish, and then on top of it is the Franken glitter topper. It's a whole lot of fun, personally, especially if you've got a bunch of colors that you are not a fan of using. Definitely put them in a nail polish. Using eyeshadow as a mascara topper, I even have eyeshadow on today as a mascara topper. I love it. I think it's creative, especially if you're panning a neutral look. It definitely changes things up. This is something that I have been doing for the past month, or a little bit over a month, and it is just, it's a lot of fun. Basically, you put your mascara on, and while it's still wet, you take a eyeshadow or a mascara wand, and you spray it with your setting spray or some water or something, and then you coat it with the eyeshadow, and then you spray it again, and then you have at it. And sometimes you have to do it a couple of times, sometimes not. It's a whole lot easier if the eyeshadow is loose. So yeah, that one is probably one of my favorite ways to go ahead and use eyeshadow this year. I'm having a lot of fun with that one. Also, I have used eyeshadow as a blush topper before. Sometimes it was a matter of just toning it down, or I didn't like the shade and I didn't want to franken it. I used a lot, especially like the lighter duochrome type shades. That's always been a lot of fun, so I've done that one. I've used eyeshadow as a lip topper before, and sometimes it works out, especially on those shades that I have that just are too flaky. I've managed to go ahead and put them on top of a lipstick, and I've enjoyed the heck out of it. I've used lipstick as a cream blush, and then I put a powder blush on top of it. My mom is someone that told me, you don't need blush, you just need lipstick, and I look at her like she's crazy, but she's right. She's 100% right. I've used eyeliner as a base before. I've used eyeliner as a lip liner before. I've used eyeshadow as an eyeliner. That's one of my favorite ways too, because you really don't need eyeliner if you have eyeshadow. There are ways that you can look up on Google to actually make even like a liquid eyeliner. So I definitely want to go ahead and try that one in the future. So yeah, there's so many ways to multitask your eyeshadows. I've used shadow sticks as an eyeshadow base. I've used eye primer as a lip topper. That was one way that I used my Ulta eyeshadow primer. I've even used my Ulta eyeshadow primer as a highlighter before because it was just the wrong shade, and it was so pretty. I wish I would have done that way before. That way it didn't last as long because I didn't like it on my eyes, but you know, it's whatever. I've also used an eyeshadow as a bronzer, and that is something that I really I like it if the eyeshadow tends to be a little bit more powdery, because it does help with the blending. But yeah, I know a lot of people on here actually use eyeshadow as a bronzer as well. I've used the glitter sprays in the bath before. Those kind of glitter sprays that's supposed to help your skin. I'm not somebody, I like glitter, but I don't like it all over my body. So I would just dump them in the bath, and there you go, it's done. And it's especially nice if it has things like lavender in it, or rose or something. Makes for a very relaxing bath. And then I have used the last one that I have on my list is I've used body wash as a shampoo before. It's not exactly the best, but I have used that before because I didn't want to go ahead and buy shampoo, and it works, especially if you have a nice conditioner, but it does dry out your hair. Philosophy is one that I have used for shampoo. So yeah, it's not one of my proudest moments, but I have done that before. So hopefully this helps you guys expand a little bit on your creativity and helps you pan things. And yeah, hopefully this helps you in some kind of way. Be sure to go ahead and check out Jessica. I'm sure she will have a whole lot more tips on how she goes ahead and multitasks some products. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you very, very much for requesting this video. It was a lot of fun. Bye!